Good day, everybody. It's Joey. I'm back with another Christmas take and make. Now, the next couple of take and makes are going to be almost take and remakes because we're going to revisit some of the most popular makes over the past year and put a Christmas theme to them all, Christmas take on it. So this was originally the spring pocket we done back in April. There was rabbits and tulips and all that. Well, this is the Christmas version. So there's a few variations. So I'll go through it. So what you've got is basically the woven pocket. You've got a tag here with Santa, the label Santa, and a dictionary definition. And the same with the stocking. Oops. And the candle. And then at the bottom here is an angel. And then it forms, the pocket forms this Christmas scene of this Christmas Christmas tree and outside a house. And then on the back, we've got a belly band and this little notebook. Here, it's backed. So you can have the belly band, you can have that as journaling space. And this one comes like that in the kit, but I've made this one into a little notebook. Just a little notebook, and this paper is all available in the kit. You'll get to see that, as is everything. So let me just put this back together again. This originally, the idea came from Gail years ago. Gail done the woven pocket, and then I forgot all about it, and then I saw Tammy earlier on in the year at Lou Frou Studios do it on Instagram. She posted it on Instagram, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember that. That's really great, and Tammy's really great, and Gail's brilliant. So I went and that's why I done the spring one. Now that one is, as you can see, with the belly band on the back. As always, I've put some gussets in. Now this one looks pretty good, and I've stuck it, as you can see, onto so it becomes a pocket in a journal page. Now there is a slight variation on this one, and they are included in the kits. It's like I've done with the spring, I've included a botanical version. So these are more Christmas images with the Santa. This is a poinsettia, and this is holly. So they're all the Christmas botanicals. Mistletoe and pine. And then in the back here, I've cut the cards, what we made into a journal. I've made individual journaling cards out of these, and these extra labels that are in the kit. And there's also this backing sheet, and you can make, you know, whatever you want to on the back. These are additional bits and pieces I stuck on there. And this is the Yuletide one. There's definitions of Yuletide. I think the 4 seasons are Epiphany, Advent, Christmas and Yuletide. Not the seasons, but you know what I mean, the periods of time. So that's I'm really, and of course, I don't know if you can see, I've sewn all around this. I've sewn around the journaling cards. I've sewn around the whole of the pocket, and I've sewn the tags, and I colour coordinated the sewing. So that's red cotton on that one, and green cotton on that one, and an emeraldy cotton on that one. So aren't they lovely? I like them. Very traditional, this one. Last week whimsical, this week traditional. The imagery I wanted to capture on this was, I don't know if you know, in the UK, and I've asked, and they had the same thing in Australia. Do you remember years ago in the 60s, 70s, used to get these boxes of like mega jumbo Christmas cards, variety pack. And there was all this sort of imagery in there. There was cards you liked, cards you didn't like. Nothing matched. They were totally good, and used to grade the cards on who was going to get the nice one, who was going to get the tacky one. So that's what these images remind me of, those sort of cards. So there's a bit of a nostalgic twist. I'll just put those over there and quickly do this. So this is the main pockets, and these are the definitions for the tags. All 8. You only use 4, as I said, but there's 8 choices. These are the tags and the pictures that go on the tags and the tag labels. Then these are the backings for the tags, the belly band to go on the back, and the piece that can go on the whole of the pocket if you want to do a standalone. These are the journal cards or booklet, the gussets, and these are the additional labels that you can use to decorate. Then this is the paper I use to line the journal with. Well, not the journal, the little booklet. And I absolutely love this paper. If you don't want, it's worth getting the freebie just to get this page, because it is really, really beautiful. Pleased with that. And this is a washed out version of that, with some coffee dyed paper and some text all faded in. The text is actually Dickens' A Christmas Carol, but you wouldn't know it. But I've told you, so you know now. Okay, so that's that. So if you want to do more of like a journaling space on the back of things, you can do that. If you want a more solid print, you can use that one. So that's it. We get to play now. After that bit of a long intro. Okay, now to remember how to do it. Hope you've got your cup of tea with you. Right. I've got my cup of tea. Oh, got to show you my treat for today. My crafting treat is German stolen. Look at that. This is so, if you're from Germany, I'm sure you have your stolen. We have a really big one at Christmas, but I bought these little mini ones. I call these crafting ones to have when you're crafting, but the big ones are massive. And they're like a sort of a bread with currants, and there's marzipan running all the way through it. And I love them. Right. First thing we're going to do is on these labels, I just want to Mod Podge them to give them a nice glossy shine. So I want to do this first because it's got to dry. But I don't know, because they were originally based on like flashcards, I like the glossiness. Put too much down there, but extra gloss. Okay, pop that in there, in that jar of water, and we'll just rip that off and leave that to the side to dry, and we'll use that later. So let's get on with and do the woven pocket first. I've got to cut this one out. So I hope you've all been well. Thank you everyone for all your lovely comments. I so enjoy reading them. And a big thank you to everyone who's been over to Ko-fi, got the freebie and treated me to a coffee. That's so kind of you. And a special thanks to Karen, Clarabelle, Terry, Rosie, Kate, Jacqueline and dear Kaz for all your coffees. That's so lovely and kind of you, and I really do appreciate it. And everyone else. And everyone who's been going over to Etsy to buy the Christmas kits that I've done. You know, I've been doing, well, for the last 6 years. And the 2 I done last year are still, people are buying them and they're very popular. So that's lovely. Thank you for that. And as you know, if you don't, all the kits that are on Etsy, like my main kits, I always do a freebie. So you'll find that if you're not into buying kits this year and you want some papers, there's plenty of matching, coordinating freebies in there to the main kits. Okay, did you see that? I punched that when I'm talking. Okay, right. We'll pay attention on this bit because this is the bit that is probably the most complicated, though it's not, on the whole lot. Weaving the pocket. Now, the first one you want to put down is the top. Okay, but what I want to do is just mark off halfway. Down there like that. And I need to glue around this because we don't stick this one fully down to the end. And what I do is I stick mine onto, some people are wonderful and they can do it all and glue and all that. Well, you know, that's not me. So I stick mine onto coffee dyed paper, first of all. So as I say, we only want to go around this side. I'm using art glitter glue for this. If you're going to sew round it, you'd probably be all right using less strong glue, you know. Right, so this one goes here. I'll trim this coffee paper off afterwards. You really need to make sure this is properly down. Okay, so only halfway on that one because we've got to slide the other tag there. Okay, the second one to go down is this one along here, and this, the whole lot can go, the three sides can all be stuck down. Just want to stop. Sorry, it was saying my battery was getting low, so I just wanted to fix that up. But I'll edit that out so you won't know what I'm talking about. Okay, did you see that all round there? Okay, just make sure it's firmly down. The third one to go on is this one. Now again, this can all go down because this is going to go in the back there, like that. So the whole thing can be stuck down. As you can see, I backed these onto the grocery bag. I think it'd be okay with file folder. Just depends how bulky you want it to be. There's quite a few layers to it, so you know, you can use something thinner if you want. I would put it on something else because, you know, it gets a bit of wear and tear across here, so you want something a bit substantial. You know, even if it's just another layer of coffee dyed paper and glue. Okay. Now the tricky bit. And there, so going to glue around the three sides. Lift that up. Lock that in. Have to push quite firmly to get it lined up. That's it. And we burnish again with that. And this one, you want to glue across here and across here. Just do a little bit more. And there we have it, a woven pocket. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that's down. Just give that a clip. Make sure that one's down. For a cup of tea. And then we'll put the back, cut it out and put the backing on. While we're waiting, I'm just going to back this, because I'm going to make, for this one, I'm going to make it into a booklet. So I'm going to use this paper. I'm not going to make the whole booklet here. You can, you know, to do that. Do what you want. You can staple paper in. Actually binding, you know, done like as if it was a journal pamphlet stitch, but okay. Let's just put this down here. Have another bit of stone. I got that in Aldi. Aldi at Christmas. The stuff they had is just brilliant. I think it's really had an effect on Australia. Some of the, you know, to lift their game on some of the things they provide in the usual grocery stores for Christmas. They're having to think again. Because there's wonderful stuff from Europe that Aldi has. If you've got an Aldi near you. Most people in Australia and the UK have. I know they are in the States and Europe. Okay. Chopping and changing today. Let me just cut this out. And as I say, you can let that dry and sew all around that. I did think whether you could do the whole tags, you know, before, not, you know, the whole pockets before you weave them, you know, so you get the stitching round here as well. But I'll have to have a play with that at another time. Would look quite nice. I don't know if it'll interfere with the pocket. Okay, so we all done on that one. Just give that a bit of a ink. And then this goes on the back, like that. We go around that with some vintage photo, if it doesn't line up properly. I've given up on glue sticks, unless it's a really big thing. I don't know if it's weather here or what, but it just tends to peel off. If I'm going to sew something, it's fine using it. I'm just going to put that like that because I might give that a little extra trim with the knife. If I can find my cutting tool. sorry, all this trimming. So boring. I'm thinking of 5 other things when I'm doing this. Not paying enough attention to you. Okay, so that's all done. Right, let's just quickly cut this out and then that's done. And we can move on to more interesting things. So nice, that paper. Okay. Okay, and that's ready to put your coffee dyed paper in. You can put a little pad there, and you could even, you know what, just thought you could even make pockets, couldn't you? Because there's load, you know, this is left over. That'd be nice. And have a bit of fun there. Or if you wanted to make it into a sort of like a booklet journaling card, you can use that paper instead. That's your choices. I think people are going to come up with, you know, really, really different stuff for this, because there's so many different pieces that you can play with. Okay, right, let's get back to normal. Next we'll do the tags. This is quite fun. So it don't take long once you've got everything going. Cut out and that, it's not too long. Now what we've got are backings for the tags as well, which is really nice. So I want to coordinate these with this little, so they match the colours. So one tip here is don't cut them, you know, the tag shape off before you've put the backing on, because it really is a lot easier to line up. You can cut them off afterwards. Right, what colour we got here? The green, so we want that one. And the green one. That's the green one, and the yellow. It's a really nice relaxing make, this one, and fun, it really is. Okay, that's that one down. It's nice having the backings. And then the final one, which is the holly. Okay. Snip those off. So much for me saying it makes it easier to line up, but it does. You still have to trim. Okay, I'll just do that one. There we go. Okay, right, let's get the little pictures and that. You can mix and match these as well, you know. You can bring the botanical, 2 botanicals, 2 of these. Let's put the centre on. This is like playing with stickers. You know, it's got the space there for it to go on. That's centre. We want the centre definition. A jolly and red-cloaked figure known for his gift-laden sleigh and hearty laugh, embodying festive cheer, secret generosity, and the wonder of a winter's magical promise. There you go. Okay, that's that one. And this is... So do the angel next. I've inked these previously. As you can see, I got a link accidentally on that one, but I thought it's being covered up, so you won't see them smudges. Someone was asking again about paper. The paper I use, it's vibrant, and because I've got an Echo Tank printer, it's Epsom matte presentation paper. It's really vibrant. The only thing though is you cannot get glue on it. it really, you can't get it off. I've got glue rubbers and that, it just leaves a smudge. And so you have to be pretty careful on that. But as I say, if you're doing vintage, it doesn't really matter, does it? I don't mind. Things get messy and smudgy and all that. That's the fun of it. That's what we do. That's why I gave up really with Stampin' Up, which I used to do years ago, you know, about 15 years ago. But it all come a bit too precise for me. But people who do it they do beautiful stuff, you know, all their layering and that. But I'll find this more interesting, which is why I've got all the Stampin' Up, you know, me scoreboard and everything else, because I really got quite into it, and still got some of their papers, but I've still got all their inks. And as I say, that it's coming up for 15 years, and they're still, the majority of them, all still working. Though for my Christmas present this year, I'm getting some distress inks, which I'm really, really excited about. And I want to get some, you know, the texture paste as well, because I want to have a play with that in the new year. But I bought the, you might remember when I bought the tea dye in the Distress Oxide, and I was really, really impressed with it. So I thought I'll get the oxides, because, you know, it's a different type of ink, isn't it? Since I've got all the Stampin' Up inks, and the colours are, you know, pretty much all the same between the different brands, you know. Well, they are to me. You know, I know they're not exactly the same, but a pink's a pink, and a magenta's a magenta. So yeah, so I've got to sit down now, because I've only got so much to spend in my Christmas present, because they're so expensive here, Tim Holtz stuff. That's why it's a treat. You know, I've got to think carefully about what colours I want to get. I've already got the oxide and the ink in the vintage photo, and I've got the tea dye in the oxide, so I want to get that peacocky colour. Amy uses it, I saw, and Perilli on Instagram uses it a lot, and I'll have to work out, I think it might be peacock feathers or something, but it gives like a patina type look when you use it with browns and that, and it's lovely. It's really, really lovely. Right, where's that? We do the labels. Now remember, these are the ones we Mod Podged, so bear with me, because I've got to cut all these out, but I can chat to you. You can have your tea. Hope you've got your tea with you, or your coffee, or... Am I the only one who has crafting treats? You know what? I don't know if those are familiar with Aldi. They do these little blocks of 5 packets out of 5 like mini chocolates. They're about the size of this. They do them in all different, you know, hazelnut chocolate and dark chocolate, white chocolate, and there's 5 bars. And I used to buy them because they were great little things, like to pop into a card, you know, make a belly band or a pocket and put in just one, you know. So I always had a supply of them. And then when I was getting a bit peckish in the evening, you know, we'd say, oh, have we got anything to eat? I say, oh, I've got some crafting chocolate. So that's what we used to call it. Is there any crafting chocolate? I'll have to do that. I'll have to do one of a project using that those mini bars. I do a lot of chocolate. If you'd have seen on Instagram, I make cards and incorporate the bars of chocolate, because sometimes, you know, you want to give a little gift, but you don't want to start something off, you know, big presents and all that. So it just makes it like a special card. I'll do one of them one year. Okay, we just want to go in the corner. What you want to do is, if you've got the label, you want to punch in the top right hand corner. I've found that that's the best way for... This is a really, really small punch. I don't know what the size is, but if you haven't got anything this small, which you probably haven't, I don't know how I ended up with this. It's from Stampin' Up. I think I was thinking I was getting a bigger hole. That's what it was. But it comes in handy. Just use a needle or something. It doesn't have to be that big. You've only got to poke the bulb pin through. Okay, Santa, candle, angel, stocking. Let's get these. I've gone for gold. Obviously, you should go round and do a bit of distressing on this, especially the backs, because they do flip over. So I'll just do that quickly. Bear with me. See, it ain't taken long to come together, is it? But the spring one was really popular. People really liked it, and because I've done all the working out for it, you know, I only had to change the imagery over and that, so there wasn't so much, you know, find the images and get the images and everything, work out the definitions, and I was away. Get in. That's it. Santa. Angel. Oh, you know what I've got to do? Just put on the belly band on the back. Yeah, we'll talk about the back. Last one. I always think I've got to be quick. Okay, right, they're all done. So the back. As I say, you can leave it like that if you want. You can obviously put the gussets on, one there, and one there, and stick it in to your journal so the whole thing becomes a pocket. If you're doing that, obviously you don't have to stick this decorative backing on. You can just stick it directly onto your coffee dyed paper and use that for something else. But I'm going to do the belly band. Now I was wondering whether you could put it a little bit further down and put your journal cards in there. Oh, and then you've still got some writing space. But I haven't tried that. I'll be all right. Should we give it a go? We'll give it a go, and if it if it don't work, then you don't have to try it. You'll know. Why should I get you to test? Okay, put that. So make sure that's it. Let me grab some of them journaling cards. Bear with me. Probably needs sticking a little bit longer. Oh no, that holds, doesn't it? That's much better. See, before I had it in the middle, so when you take it out, you lose that. Well, you can still write under them on the top there, but I think that's better, don't you? Anyway, it's up to you. You do you. And this is our one we made today that can go in the back there. As I say, you can decorate Santa. I put first, then the candle, then the stocking, and then the angel. Let's clear all that away and take a look. So let's look at the ones we've done. How wonderful. So there we go, that's a copy of that, but that's got the belly band up there, that's got the belly band down there. And then a lovely sewn pocket version with the botanical theme instead of the Christmas icons. Okay, so that's it. I really, really hope you like this. If you like the spring one, I'm sure you'll like this too. And what a lovely card to give someone, you know. I'm going to give one of these to my sister and then to my other sister in Montana. You all know who that is. She's going to, don't tell her. So yeah, that's going to go off to Montana and one's going to go off to London. And all my sisters are sorted. That's my real sister in London, Maxine. Next time we're doing another take and remake, and I'm going to do the waterfall card. You know that we done a couple of weeks ago for Halloween. I'm going to do what I'm hoping to, because I haven't started it yet, is a Victorian waterfall card, but I want to try and get it to go with match my Yuletide cheer kit, the full kit. There's a freebie, a Yuletide cheer freebie on Ko-fi too. So it'll all be totally new images, obviously. I never repeat. When I do a full kit and then I do the freebie, the imagery in the freebie matches, but it's never a repeat of the images. If you're paying, you get those images, and if it's free, you get different images. So this again would be the same sort of theme. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I think that'll really work well with the waterfall card. I'm hoping. Anyway, that's me done. Lovely to be back so soon again. As I say, I'm going to try and do as many Christmas projects as I can. I'm definitely doing the waterfall card. Then there may be one more after that, which would be, I'm hoping it'll be my Christmas gift to you all. So it'll be a little bit later. But hopefully it'll all be in November, so you'll have time to make it all. I've got me stolen. I'm going to have my cup of tea, put my feet up now, and enjoy the rest of my day. Love you lots. God bless. And I'll see you in a week's time. Bye.